Hi guys, very good morning to you. In this video we are going to talk about how to connect the Excel with the Outlook using Excel VBA, and this is entirely going to be a very different video because I have actually a lot of videos on the Outlook. So this question I received from one of my subscribers, and I just want to show you that he has written this. Mr. Ahmed has written this. Dear Ajay, sir, I'm your big fan and your channel. Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed. And I know that you have been writing a lot to me, so thank you so much for giving your faith on this channel, and I hope that this time also we are going to work on this problem. So everybody who is watching this video, let me tell you what exactly he is looking forward to. He has this question, and the question is, I have 200 employees, and they have their time card in the PDF file, and the time card in the time card, you have the basically the employee number. As you can see here, he has given this kind of two snapshots. How to send individually one email, one time card only. By Outlook I am sending the screenshot, for example, right? So basically what he's saying is, I'll just tell you. Let me just open the Excel file, and so in this Excel file, this is the Excel 2016, but I hope that this is going to work in all the versions, right? So guys, this is what I have prepared the dummy data based on his screenshot, and what we want to do is, now we want to prepare a VBA code in Excel that one by one we should be able to send all the emails to these employee IDs, to these employee their email IDs like abcmm@outlook.com, jj34@outlook.com, and at the same time, while sending the email, we also actually need to focus on our folder where you have their time card in the form of the PDF file. So I have created some dummy basically PDF files in my E drive, and you can in the folder called details, you can see here. So basically here you have all of your employees details, time card or whatever you want to call it, and the format is actually the PDF. So what actually he wants to do is, he want to create a macro which, if we are going to run, actually then what happens, automatically the email, while we are going to send this email to abc@outlook.com, which is the employee number 100, this 100.pdf should be attached with it. The details should be attached with it, and same for the next employee ID, and same for the next, and same for the next. Now I have created them at outlook.com, thinking that this is the official project, right? And the office, when we use the Microsoft Outlook, generally we don't actually send the emails to the personal IDs, right? But this can be anything. It can be Yahoo, it can be Gmail, it can be Rediff, anything, right? So it doesn't really matter what email ID you have, but we need to understand how we can actually prepare this kind of a tool, right? So guys, we're going to start with this tool, and I want to tell you that first of all, let us understand this. And for all those who are watching my channel for the first time, then this is not the first video, guys. Congratulations to all of you. We actually have covered the 200 videos, and this is going to be the video number 204. So you have now the access to all these videos. All videos are free, and there are 203 videos on my YouTube channel which you can watch here. You can go to my playlist, and you can find all the videos here based on the category. You need to click on the the playlist, and playlist will show you all these lists. So whatever you're looking forward to, whether you're looking for the Excel video, Excel VBA video, or Access video, or Access VBA, you will have everything. We have recently started Access VBA series also, so you will start finding the videos there as well. But because we are talking about the Outlook, how to connect the Excel with the Outlook, so let me tell you that I have got a lot of videos on the Outlook already, and your response has been terrific so far. I have got really very good clicks, and people are really appreciating it. But I'll just tell you that you can go here and you can find it out where exactly it is. Excel VBA connecting Outlook from Excel. You can see here, just click on this playlist, and here you would find I guess there are 9 videos already uploaded there, right? And this is the video actually which have been liked by so many of you, and this is again the video number 90, which is really have a very good amount of actually clicks. So these all videos are not repeated. Let me first tell you this thing. They are all unique. And why they are unique? Because credit goes to you. Whenever you email me something, I always find it a different requirement, like in this case also we have a different requirement, so I'm going to upload the video. Now the first thing which I want to tell you guys, how we're going to do that. Let us make the plan first, right? So the first thing is, we're going to create a loop. In the loop, I'm going to start my loop from here, and we will go to the last row, so that every email ID can be covered. And that is, we are going to cover using simply the for next loop. That's the first thing, right? We simply run the for next loop. In case if you don't have any idea about the for next loop, then again, as I said, please go here and watch out the videos on the, the loops. You would find here Excel VBA collection loops or Excel VBA loops. You just need to find it out. That I leave it to you. Just find out where is that category, right? So there I have uploaded, I think 15-20 videos on the loops. Okay. Now the next thing which I want to do is, obviously, because we need to connect the Excel to the Outlook, so we are going to use the, again, the Outlook library here. Okay, and this is where we are going to use the early binding method. Early binding method means that the moment you run the VBA code, we will have to tell the Excel VBA that look, we are going to connect the Outlook library. So we are going to reference the Outlook library so that we can use it all the classes like nail item, classes like outlook.application, whatever. I'm just going to cover that. Now the important part, I think, of this video is that how will you capture that, which basically the employee ID, we are going to we are going to send the email ID to the which employee ID, and based on that, which basically the file we are supposed to pick from this detail folder. So here we are going to work on the file handling part. So we are going to work on the file handling part, which means we are going to run the loop there again, and this is going to be taken care by our library called the class called file system object. Now I have already uploaded many videos on the file system object as well. You just need to find out the folder here on the file handling or the workbook handling, right? And look at this. This is one that I was talking about. So you will get everything on any subject, you name it, and I am sure you will find the videos. And if you don't find the videos, I'm here. Just write me it. Write me at my Yahoo ID or Gmail ID, or maybe you can leave the comment. The best way is on the video itself, and I will definitely get back to you, because I don't miss out the comments of my subscribers. Trust me on that, right? Okay, so now let's go ahead and prepare this tool. So the first thing, as I said, let us prepare quickly the for next loop. So we go to the developer tab. I'm using the Excel 2016, and as I said, it is going to work on all the versions, right? And if it is not going to work, just feel free to reach out to me, and just I will definitely going to help you. But I don't think so that would be the case, because I've tested in 2010 also, and it is working very fine. So the first thing I'm going to create here is that capture details from Excel. Okay, that is the first thing I want to do. All right, so now what is the thing I want to do? I want to simply run a loop. So we're going to write dim I as long, and for I equals to 1 2, how many times we need to run this loop? Well, that depends on the last row. So to get the last row, this is how you write range. So I'm going to start it from the 10 lakh, because I know nobody uses this much of data. So we're going to start from the 10 lakh, and we're going to say xlf.row. Okay, and I'm going to start, and I'm going to subtract -1 from it. The reason is because if right now you are on 5, and if I say 1 to 5, then 1 to 5 means 1 2 3 4 and 5. So we'll subtract 1 from it, so that this header should not be included in the loop. So basically what I'm saying is that this loop is now supposed to run 4 times, which we need actually, right? Okay, so that's the thing. And now here what we need to do is you also need to ensure that you should be on the correct sheet. So you can write the sheet name as well. Okay, that's it. Now here I'm going to declare 2 variables. So the first variable is I'm going to name it as let's say dim. You can declare here let's say 200. Okay, as you can declare it as a string. So I'm going to write here in this 2. So maybe we can do one thing. We can write here email 2_email. So we're going to capture this ABC Outlook, and the another variable which I want to find is the employee ID. So I'm going to say that employee ID as, again, it's a long because it's a number. So this is what we are going to do. Now while running this loop, what I want to do is the employee ID variable should capture the value, which is the 100. So how it is going to capture, because the loop has already started, so you're going to concatenate this with I. Okay, because when you run the loop for the first time, I will be 1. So 1 means that A1. So I don't want the employee ID, I want the 100, because we are starting from the second row. so you're going to add +1 to it. That's it. You're simply doing the concatenation basically, right? So what it means, if this A is going to be concatenated with this I plus 1, which is eventually going to be 2, so range A2, the value would come in this employee ID variable, and this is what we need, right? Similarly, we will define the another variable which is called the to_email, and this is going to be in the column called C. Okay, because we have the email ID in the C. Now what is the next thing we want to do? Let me write the next as well. So this keeps on running. I can show you quickly here so that we should be on the same page. So let's just run this and have a look on this. Now look at this. This I is 1 because the loop is running for the first time, and so this makes it A1. Let's run this and you see that we have got the employee ID is 100. The next is this is empty. The moment I run this is going to be ABC Outlook, right? And now the I is going to run the second time. You can see here. So this 2 plus 1 will make it 3. So in this way now it is going to be use the value called A2, which is A3, sorry, which is 200, and at the same time the the email ID is also changed. So you keep on running this loop and you keep on getting all the values. This is the last time the loop is running and finish. So while running this loop, we want to basically send out the emails as well, and at the same time we also want to find out in our folder that where is this 100, where is this 100.pdf, the document which is in this folder, so that we can attach it using the email. So we have to do a lot of work. So let's go ahead. So what I will do for the understanding perspective, I'll make it very simple. The moment I capture the employee ID and the email ID of the person, let's create another macro and we call it that call sending email. Okay, so that this should be in, we can write it in the different macro. So here I'm going to write the macro name. This is the call word. We use the call word to basically call the macros from one place to another. And this question also comes many times in your interview also, that why do we use the call word? So you can tell them that call, basically we use it so that if you're writing the big codes, then you can bifurcate them. You can call them one by one instead of writing the whole of the bunch of the code in one macro, in one sub, and then it will create a lot of difficulty while handling the things. Because if we have 400-500 lines of a code, it's better to bifurcate it. Some part does this, some part does this, and some part does this, and then you can connect them one by one using the call word like we are doing it. This is the best example. It's going to keep us on the track. It's going to help us in keeping it very clean, and also from the understanding perspective, it is going to be very useful. Now here guys, what I need to do is, of course, I need to connect it with the Outlook. So what you need to do is you need to go to the tools and the reference, okay, and find out your Microsoft Outlook library, which is this Microsoft Outlook 16.0. I'm using the 2016. I recently bought this from the Microsoft website and I'm really loving it because all the previous 200 videos were on Excel 2010. Okay, so recently I bought this. Now that's why you see this 16.0. But if you're using Excel 2013, then this is going to be 14.0, and if you're using Excel 2010, then I believe I beg your pardon, basically 15.0 for the Excel 2013 and 14.0 for the Excel 2010, and then I think 12.0 is for your Office 2007. Well, anyways, that does not matter. This number doesn't matter. This just tells you that which version you have. What matters is you need to activate this library, Microsoft Outlook. And for those who doesn't have any idea about it, from where to get it, just press M here and scroll it down. They are all alphabetically sorted, and you need to find where is Microsoft Outlook. Let me show you. So there we go. So somewhere here you will see that Microsoft Outlook. You can see here, right? Because I've already clicked here, right? And that is why I can see it on the top. This is the library which you need to on, because we are going to connect it with the Outlook. This is very important. This is called the early binding method. We are already telling our VBA that we are going to use the Outlook library. So, in this way, you will have to link it. Okay, there is another method in which you don't have to click on this, and that is called the late binding. I will talk about that maybe in some other classes, but today we are going to learn, how to connect the Outlook with the Excel and send all these emails having the attachments using the early binding method. So if you're going to send this file to somebody who is using let's say the Excel, which is this is the highest version, this is the recent version. So if somebody is using 10 or 14, you have to tell them that please, before you operate on this workbook, if you send this particular file from where we are making this, where we are making this code, then you have to tell them that you have to on this library, otherwise they will get the error called user type defined error. Okay, so they have to go there, they have to on their Microsoft Outlook 12.0 or 14.0, 15.0, whatever it is, depends what version they use. And I have already told you which version will have which number, so you just need to tell them. Now what is the next thing I have done here is you also need to click on this Microsoft scripting runtime. Again, you can press M and you can find it out where it is. This is going to be very helpful because this is in fact is required because we need to run a loop in the folders. So this we use whenever you deal in the folders, right? So two libraries you need to on Microsoft scripting runtime. This will be there as it is, whatever the version you are using, and this may vary as I said depending upon the version, but ultimately you will have to on them. Okay, just press OK. Now the first thing which I'm going to do is how you actually going to create the Outlook object. So this is how we are going to create. So I define my own variable Outlook as outlook.application. Okay, and then the next line I'm going to declare is new outlook.application. Now if you have watched all those videos which I was talking about on the Outlook, then you must be familiar with this because they have explained it so many times really. 10 videos you have seen, and they are all very long videos, and there we have connected the Excel with the Outlook, and they have really talked in detail about all these things, right? So this will be responsible for my Outlook, basically the executable file, right, which will run in the background, and then we can use the Outlook application. This is very important. Now what is the next line we want to do? I'm going to create OMail as Outlook mail item. This class we use it for the emails. This class we use it for the emails because we want to send the emails. So whenever you want to send the emails, you will have to use this class. Set OMail, this is how we write it. You have to learn it. Create item, and then you will write it here, start the bracket, you will write it here OMail item. This is what you need to write, right? So this OMail is actually now going to refer to the email items. Basically whenever you want to send the email, or you send or you display them, whatever, right? So this is the first thing we have done. Now the next thing we want to do is we have to run a loop in this folder at the same time, and we need to see where is this 100 or 200 or 300 depending upon what values we have gotten here. If it is 100 and ABC at Outlook, then definitely we are looking forward to the 100.pdf. If it is 200, then we would like to search for the 200. And how we are going to get these values? Obviously you see that here you will get these values from here, from these employee ID, and from this to_email. So I'm going to run this loop. First of all, we will have to define which folder we are going to run this, under which folder we will have to run the loop, so that we can find that all the files, out of all those 10, 15, 20, 50 PDF files, where is exactly our the file which you are looking forward to. So here we will have to declare FSO. This is how you write as scripting. I was telling you that we will have to use the file system object. This is the library you're going to use. Now how this, when you if you see that when I pressed scripting dot file system object, this comes automatically. This comes automatically because of the reason that I have clicked here on this Microsoft scripting runtime. If I uncheck it, then you will not be able to see. For example, let me uncheck this. So if you forget to click on this, then you will not be able to use this. For example, now let me press. You see that I'm pressing the dot, but it's not coming, and you cannot use that, right? So that is why this is called the early binding, where you tell your Excel VBA that what exactly the classes you're going to use. So just press M, keep on pressing M and scroll it down because it starts with the Microsoft scripting S. So I'm on the I right now, MNO PKORS. So this is how you can see that. There we go. So just check mark this. So it's good that we did this practice also, how to on the libraries. So now it is available here, and now if I press dot again, you see that I have started seeing that. So now I hope you understood the concept. Set FSO, this is how we write new file system object. This line you will have to write it, right? Why we need to write it? Because from here, from this FSO now, which is equals to the file system object, you will be able to capture a folder, and that is what exactly I said, that we are going to use the file handling part. File system object is a class, because this helps us, this class file system object helps us in finding out the files in any folder of our own choice. Now how you going to declare the folder? This is how we are going to declare the folder. So I'm going to declare here my FOL, another object variable, and I'm going to write here scripting.folder. Set my folder equals to. Now you see that the moment you press FSO, this has basically a method called the folder. So this method get folder is coming from FSO, and why it is coming? Because FSO is now file system object. We are using file system object class, in this variable FSO object, in this object variable, and that is why it's coming. So this is the reason actually it is so important for us. Now which folder? I was telling you that I have everything in my folder called E drive in the details folder. So just copy this and put it here in the quote. Okay, this is how we are going to put it. Now once you have this folder created, the next thing which you want to do is in this folder you want to run a loop, and you want to see that where is this employee ID file, because this, remember, when you're going to run this employee ID will be 100, and we want to find it out where is 100.pdf, right? So this is how we are going to do. I'm simply going to write here dimfs file, which is again your another file of the under the scripting class file, and here we're going to run the loop for each file, for each fn, for each file in files. This is a collection loop we are running. So for each file in my dot files, my file is what? My file is basically your this folder. So this is how you write, right? So now here what we are going to say that, so it will start its loop from the first file 100.pdf, and then it goes to the 200, 300, 400, right? So here what we're going to do is we are going to say that anywhere if you find the file name which has this employee ID, then just pick that. So how you going to do that? So here I'm going to write if condition, if f.name, the file name, is equals to my variable which is called the employee ID. Let me just again maximize it. So employee ID. Now employee ID, you know that it is going to be the 100 for the first time when the loop is going to run. We have seen that. So 100.pdf, but the file name is in the .pdf because file has extension also, right, in this folder. So we have to basically join .pdf with every in the employee ID, right? So I can do one thing. I can simply write here and .pdf. Okay, if it finds this employee ID having the .pdf extension, that means we need to actually capture it. So how you capture it? So here I will write my OMail, which is my email item class, and I will say that send it now. Send it to where? Obviously to this variable. So you will write here to email. Okay, and what is the next thing? So what attachment we need to add? So this is how you write attachments.add. And what is the attachment you need to add? You know that all the attachments are in this folder. So you can copy this and you can put it here, and you can join it with the, now which file you want to send? Obviously the file, whatever file is we are going to capture under this true parameter. So put it in the code. This one. Okay, and then next thing which you want to do is you can write here OMail send if you want to send it, but I don't want to send it because first I would like to have them displayed. So you can comment it out this, but if you want to do that, you can remove the display line and you can use the .send. Else we don't want to do anything. So this is the code which we have prepared, and now let us go ahead and check. Now I know there will be one error, but I want to basically still run it, and I want to show you that what exactly is going to happen. Now look at this, guys. Let us just run this, and let me just put the Excel also. Now you have this. Let me open the Outlook as well. So there is no need to open the Outlook. I mean, Outlook will come automatically. So let's just run this code now. Okay, there we go. So this loop is going to run how many times? First of all, let's ensure that. So this is the first time it is running, and it has to run 5 minus 1. You can see here the last row is 5 and I'm subtracting 1 from it. So 4 times this loop will run. But each time when it is going to run, first of all, it will go to the sending email macro also. So the moment I'm going to run this, look at this, what will happen? You will get the error variable not defined. This variable employee ID, it is not defined. But then you must be wondering that employee ID variable, we have already defined it here. So what is the issue? Now here, actually, we need to understand. Basically, we are using the local variables. Local variables means that we have defined this employee ID and 2_email variables only for this, basically the macro, which is capture details from Excel. The moment it is going to fall out from this macro, it goes to the another macro, they will lose their significance, they will be destroyed, and then here we will have to declare them again. But we can't declare them here again. Why? Because here we have already assigned them some value and we want to carry forward that value. So whenever you want to carry forward your the variables under the same module, remember I am on the same module, which is module 2. So here I can write 10, 15, 100 macros, different subs, right? So if you are in a situation where you want to carry forward your basically the variables, then you can't make them local variable, right? Just go ahead and watch my videos on the variables and you will understand what I'm talking about, right? But still I have given you good information on this. So what you need to do is you need to change the scope. We will have to change them. We will have to make them the public variables, not the local variables. Local variables means that as long as they are in the macro, they remain active. The moment the macro finishes, they get destroyed. And again, one more thing, if you call one, if you call the another macro from one macro, then they are not going to basically going to be carry forwarded. And that is why you will get the error, if you're using them in the another subroutine, then you will get the error that variable not defined. So we will have to declare it. So I'm simply going to cut them, and this is how you do. Just after the option explicit, on the top of the first macro, you declare them, and the line is going to be inserted. Look at this now. So this means that now they can be carry forwarded anywhere. We can use them, right? So let me rerun this and then we can have a look. Now look at this. It is 100 and it is abc@outlook.com. Perfect. Now you see that there is no error coming out, right? So we are going to now connect with the Outlook, and this is where we are going to work on the folders. Now we are on the E folder. In the E folder we have the detail folder. Also in the E drive, I'm sorry, I beg your pardon, in the E drive we have a detail folder. So now we are going to capture all the files one by one. Now look at this. What is the first file name? If you have a look on the first file name, it says 100.pdf, which is the same file which I have this in the folder. So it captured it, and this is what we need for the 100 employee ID. We need this 100.pdf, right? So this should be true. So this is 100 and this is 100.pdfs, and that is why I concatenated it with .pdf, because 100 is going, this add means that we are joining. So 100, when it is going to join with this .pdf, it makes it 100 pdf, and you will have the exactly the same value which we have in this f.name. So this is qualified, and that is why now I'm saying that. So where you need to send this? Obviously you need to send this to the abc@outlook.com, the same the variable which is coming from here, this one. Okay, we are using it. Now you see that we can carry forward the value because we have changed the scope. We have declared them on the top just after the option explicit, right? Okay, so now which attachment you want to add? Obviously in this drive, let me just put the / also, this is required. So in this E drive, under the folder detail, this is the file name which you need to attach, which would obviously be the 100.pdf, because we have we have here in the true parameters. So true would happen only when this file is going to be equals to this file, which is this employee ID. So this is going to be attached. Now we would like to display it. Let's go ahead and let's see. All right, so you can see in the background the email is displayed, abc@outlook, and you can see here the Outlook is opened, right? Perfect. So now let's go ahead. Now what is the next thing? Obviously this is done. Now the next time when this is going to run, because we are running the collection loop for each file in the files, so it is going to access all the files one by one. So we know that the 100.pdf will never come here again, right? So now the next time it should capture the 200, and you see that it is 200, but obviously 200 is not equals to 100, right? So this is going to be in the else mode, and your loop will run. They will have all the files getting accessed one by one, but you will not eventually see any action in the true, because we have already captured that. So it has run its loop, on all the files. Now it is going back on the again the previous loop, obviously, because we have to finish this subroutine as well. But here also the I has to run 4 times. Now the second time I is running, and you see that the employee ID is now changed to 200. Why? Because this is now 2 plus 1. So in your Excel, range A3 has 200 employee ID. So we got the new variable, and similarly we got the new email ID, which is mm@outlook. Again it will go here, and again now the same macro is going to run, and this time you know that what is the first file name? It's 100.pdf, right? Why? Because we are running the loop for each file in the folders dot files, and the folder name is this detail one. So the first file is 100.pdf, but this is not equals to our employee ID 200, right? So obviously it will go in the else mode. The next time, now it captures the file name is now 200.pdf, so which is equal, as you can see in the folder also, this is a 200.pdf. so this means that this is going to run now. So we can see here that it comes to this, the true parameter, then parameter. So again the email is going to be attached. Which email? You can see here it is going to be the 200.pdf in this folder, and we are going to display it, and there we go, you can see in the background, right? So same way you can run this. Let me just now quickly run this F5, and there we go. Alright, so all the emails are ready. Now you can see here that this is the first email, and you can see that it is 400.pdf, which is the employee ID of this, the 400 employee ID basically has this email called kk@outlook.com. Let me close this. I don't want to save the change. This is the second email. You can see here JJ34 actually has the employee ID 300, and because of which now we are actually able to attach 300 PDF file from our folder. Let me click on the no. So every email is basically drafted. Okay, so this is how, guys, you can actually prepare this code. So I can maximize it, and you can see it. Just pause the video and you capture this detail, and let me just scroll it down as well. Now you can see this as well. So this is how we connected two macros, and so we understood the concept of public variables and the local variables. We also understood the concept of why it is so important to add the libraries whenever you're going to use the technology called the early binding. We have used two references, Outlook and scripting runtime, and this is how we run the collection loop, which is this loop for each files in the folder dot files, for each file in files. Basically that is the the basic code, and here we simply ran the for next loop. Lot of things actually we have been able to write in here. So this is the end of the video number 200 and I guess 4. Yeah, it is 204. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. You have the link on the bottom corner, and as I said already that these are all videos are practical videos on real your MIS. Basically they are the MIS real MIS stuff videos. So if you want to have a look on the other videos, please go to the playlist and find out all the videos. I'm signing off, and I promise I will be back with some more exciting stuff. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a very great learning. Thank you.